Welcome to our brand new show, The TakeDown, where we break down wrestling and some non-wrestling thoughts and opinions with a different lens. My name is TK Trinidad, and I am not alone. For y'all who don't know us, but you should. I'm here with my brother from another mother. We go way back. Wrestling's Coco Cena himself, Evan T. Mack, was good.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, the Takedown new show, TK Trinidad, Evan Mack in the building, no Coco Cena. We're going to do the wrestling thing, of course. We're going to break down wrestling and the things that we do, low collar and elbow, but also different topics, different current events, different debates, different things that we think that are interesting for you guys to sink your teeth into, and I think y'all going to enjoy it.
Definitely, for sure. Which, we're going to give a little bit of a teaser because we had to give you a little something bigger. I know you guys like us, but there's more to us. And we actually got to do an amazing interview with Zoey Stark, which is going to be happening in the show. So you're going to have to continue watching so you can see and hear what she has to say, because she was giving some tea that I don't think anybody has been asking about. So all that stuff, especially about Crocs.
Yeah, I was like, listen, the Croc thing is my fault. I apologize in advance for the Croc talk, but it's something that's near and dear to my heart very recently. It's a recent development in my life, and I need everybody to jump on that Croc bandwagon. They ain't paying me for this. Maybe one day I'll get a free endorsement. But Zoey has some really good stuff to say, guys, about how she is as a superstar and her development and the status quo about how women are perceived like in the wrestling industry. It's pretty eye-opening stuff. So I'm excited for y'all to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, just kind of jumping on women's wrestling, etc. I mean, we just had Full Gear Pass. Survivor Series is about to happen. 2024 is booked and busy. Like, I don't know if y'all have got your plane tickets, but it's going to be everywhere and anywhere as far as wrestling and women's wrestling. Which brings me to the topic, as far as we've been doing on another show that I'm doing. We actually cover or doing a rewatch of Total Divas. And, a lot of Total Diva fans, a lot of women's wrestlers who got into wrestling is because of Total Divas. So that kind of leads into the question of, we have a couple reality shows coming up. The Crawfords is one of them. We've had some in the past who haven't done as well. Do you think we need another reality show? And who would you put on that reality show?
Yeah, that's the thing though with me, because I'm not a big fan of all kinds of reality shows, but I must confess I do love 90 Day Fiance, and that kind of makes me look like a fool because 90 Day Fiance got like 75 different shows. so I say I don't watch reality show, but there's like 90 Day before 90 Day, 90 Day the other way, 90 Day Single Life, 90 Day this, 90 Day that. So I watch like 10 reality shows, but even though they're all under the same umbrella, so I should say no, but if we're talking about like another Total Divas, if we're talking about something like, because the Crawfords is going to be, to me, one of the best shows they've done in a while. I don't even, just to see the life of Taz and Bianca, two of the greatest to me, and just to see how their lives going to play out, that Hulu show, I think I'm excited for. But another Total Divas show with a new cast, I think would do very well.
Oh yeah, I think a combination of the new and old cast. But before we get into that, so you do a multi-version or multiverse of the 90 Day Fiance. I didn't even realize that because I've never watched the show.
There's like 12 shows.
Okay.
It's madness.
Okay.
There's like 90 Day the other way, but there's 90 Day like the UK version with just the Brits. It's like, listen, I can't keep up, so I just focus on what I can focus on right now. And I get wrapped up in these people's lives because I don't like reality shows, but that's the closest to real reality show can get. Because at the end of the day, that visa stuff they do is the realest part of the show, and that's what I focus
on. Cool, man. Look, let's not even get into that immigration thing. My favorite show is Catfish. I love me some Catfish. That is the only show that I do not watch for work. Everything else I watch is for work purposes. So Catfish is like my guilty pleasure, and yeah, I feel like I'm one of the last. I'm one of the last people who's watching Catfish because it's on its last leg. I mean, it's very hard for it to be It's very hard for you to be catfished. And even the stories they're reaching. They are reaching on so many levels. But I love me some Neve. Shout out to Cammy, who's the new host. I mean, yeah, it's on its last leg. I'm really the day is coming. The day is coming, y'all, and I'm really sad about that. But I love me some catfish, so that is my guilty pleasure. But that leads us. You want to do like a nice little intro to Zoey? You want to get the people going?
Yeah. Guys, let's look the test episode. A lot of stuff to get into. I wanted to get into the Zoey Stark interview first that we recorded. Me and TK did it. Shout out to Greg for hooking it up. Listen, Zoey Stark, guys, about to face Rhea Ripley, championship match, the biggest match in her career to date, Survivor Series, Chicago. We had a chance to sit down and talk with her and get her thoughts on that match, thoughts on her career, thoughts of her progression, thoughts of her as a superstar and the women in the industry. So without further ado, Zoey Stark.
Welcome to the Takedown. Welcome. We have Zoey Stark in the building. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm gonna leave it to my co-host Evan. He has a very, very, very important question to answer you. Like, this is the top.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shoot
Miss Stark, this is very important. This is a burning question. This is something that everybody wants to know. Me and my wife, we have just officially turned into a Croc family. We are a part of the Croc family now. We have some Crocs. We got some brand new Crocs. We resisted for years and years and years, but I've broken down. My one lovely Korean friend has broken us down, and we got Crocs. So what is Zoey Stark's stance on Crocs? What's going on? Tell me what's good.
Hate them. Awful, ugly. I do not want those damn things anywhere near my house. If my husband was to bring one in, I would immediately throw them out. Crocs. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, I see. Yeah.
That's where that comes from.
I know. Listen.
The stylist seems like there's no way people are ever going to wear these shoes. So it's perfect for this movie. We are turning into Idiocracy right now.
Yeah, it's so funny. Listen, it's so funny. Not everyone knows what you know. So that's like the funniest part. That was part of the reason why I was resistant upon this. I was like, yo, you don't even understand how Crocs got famous.
Exactly.
And then like she was like, Evan, you could put these little charms on them and they light up and they glow and stuff. I was like, yo, you know goodness. What? You had me at light up and glow. I'm a child. So give me them Crocs, baby.
No. I was just gonna say you're a child if that's what intrigues you. It's like, oh yeah, I can light them up. Give me a pair of those Crocs. No, awful.
Wow. That was passionate. I like that. Fun fact, Crocs are actually made in Canada. So as the resident Canadian, I mean,
well, they screwed up there.
I can't help you with that.
Do you wear Crocs too?
Ironically, it's funny. I actually had the before Crocs became popular, I had the original Crocs because I can't even I have to leave out part of this story because I wasn't supposed to be at that time. I was in high school. I was working and I wasn't supposed to be working, and the shop that I was working at, they got Crocs. So I had like original Crocs before it became a thing. So now I'm watching everybody wear it. And then I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, people who wear Crocs now, and I guess now it's crossing over. It's called it's like it was a certain age, and now the old people are starting to wear it now. So now the young people are going to not wear them anymore. Like you're seeing, like it's shifting. I too am thinking about buying Crocs, but now that you've convinced me, I am not.
Okay.
Listen, I swear we brought you on to talk about some wrestling too. I swear we did. But this has been
no, you brought me on just to talk about Crocs. Those ugly ass shoes. Awful.
But another important question is, I think we're all wondering it. Who watches a WWE? Who is the true leader of Judgment Day?
I mean, I would have to say Rhea. The person I'm going up against. I mean, you see the way she controls those boys. She's in control, no matter what any of them want to say. Finn could be in denial about it. Priest could be in denial about it. Dom, he's definitely not in denial. He knows exactly his place. You know what I mean? So it is Rhea, but that's okay. Let her be in control of that. So where she's focused on something else while we're inside of that squared circle, so we can take that title from her.
Yeah, listen, this the biggest match of your career. Let's make no bones about it. It's a title match with the best in the business at the moment. You had a tag team title with EO. You're no stranger to gold. You're no stranger to being in this business. But just talk to us about
this moment, even though you haven't experienced it yet, but just be in this moment, in this spot, in your moment in your career?
Man, I'm so excited for Saturday. It like you said, this is the biggest match of my career. This is everything that I've really been working towards. And like you said, I did have gold with EO, but it's been a couple of years, man. I need to get more gold around my waist. So I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
So, talk to us about like Crown Jewel. So, Crown Jewel was like crazy, and you almost had it. And as an athlete, um, you were almost there, and now you're getting another chance. How do you get your mind wrapped around like, okay, I have another chance, and I'm gonna get this? Like, how do you kind of set yourself up for that?
I mean, I'm very, very hard on myself. So now that I do have another chance, I can't fail this time around. Even though I was so close to having Rhea, Crown Jewel, and Nia ruined it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it didn't happen. So I got to make sure that I get the 1, 2, 3 at Survivor Series. That's if I fail at that again, I'm my own worst critic. So it needs to happen. I've done so much within the first 6 months, and it would be amazing to be able to add that onto my accolades in the first 6 months of my main roster career.
Incredible. I was looking at your Twitter, and I seen one of your posts, and it said, "I'm one of the women who have never quite fit in, and I probably never will, but I found it's one of my best qualities." Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, man. I mean, when you see a lot of the women throughout WWE's entirety, it was a lot of blonde hair, very sexual women. And for me, I never really thought I would have the opportunity to be able to be a part of WWE because of that reason. I wasn't WWE's standard for women. And I'm okay with that. But I was able to finally shine through because of my athleticism in the ring, So I might be shy in certain areas, but when you really get to know me, I can be a lot of fun, and I love to joke around, but I'm completely different from a lot of the other women. And one of the big ways is because I'm not all about the TNA. I'm about being a badass and showing what women can really do. And I feel like there's not a lot of us, I will give it to Rhea. Rhea's one of them. Shayna's one of them. There's a few of us there, and we're trying to change that now. It doesn't have to be, about the boobs and the butt and everything. Let us women shine through because of our personalities and because we're badasses inside that square circle. And a lot of the times we're better than the men.
So, how does that relate to the locker room? So, you were talking about like, outwardly, that's what WWE might have put out in front for a couple years. But how does that relate
Yeah.
to in the locker room? Do you find that, you don't quite fit in the locker room, or the locker room is a totally different beast?
The locker room's a totally different beast. I mean, honestly, if it was a couple of years ago, I don't know if I would have fit into the women's locker room. But now, because the women revolution, it's changed so much. So now that I am in that locker room, I feel like I finally found my place in the world. Like the girls have been absolutely amazing, and we all just have one goal in mind, and that's making the best product possible.
Yeah, I like to hear you talk about that, how the culture shifted and the culture's changed, and I think for the better. But as far as being a woman, having so many things you guys have to do, as far as how society has kind of stacked it a certain way, where you guys have to do
Yeah.
twice as hard of work to get half as recognition. And
Yeah.
how difficult is it to stay true to who you are? Because to me, there's some people that on this earth that still don't even know. The hardest thing to do to me is trying to find yourself and kind of find the person you want to be
Yeah.
and to find the person you want to represent. How did you strike that balance, especially trying to be a professional in this sport?
It can be very, very hard from time to time. Like, let's just say, like in NXT, during the NXT 2.0 era, you started seeing a big culture shift as far as who was getting on TV and whatnot. And then you start questioning, it's like, man, do I need to kind of start doing certain things in order to get that big opportunity? But it's so important to stay true to yourself, because if I was to do that, I wouldn't be happy with who I am, like I'd be disappointed in myself. And if that works for the other girls, great. Do what you need to do. I'm not throwing any shade. It's just for me, personally, this is all I've ever wanted to do. And I wanted to make a change in wrestling in general, that women don't have to do certain things in order to get there. You know, just be a badass, be athletic, show your personality, and the hard work will prevail at some point. So it can be very, very difficult to keep your head straight, but when you have people around you who remind you, it makes it easier.
So let's talk about your traveling. So you mentioned that when you got on the main roster, the traveling was kind of one of the hardest things to kind of get into, get used to. Do you
Yeah.
have a traveling like process? Like for me, I wear the same, like I have the same jumpsuit, I wear the same flip-flops, like I just make, because I know what to expect.
I sure do. Yep. I
process?
sure do. I definitely have the same, I wear the same shoes, I wear the same tights. I have like a airplane jacket that I always have that keeps me nice and warm because I know it'll get me through. And I pack exactly the same clothes because I know how it fits. You know I won't need to do a check bag or anything. And then because I know at my airport now, I maybe get there, I get hour and 15 minutes ahead of time because I have the clear and I have the pre-check. So I'm in and I'm ready to go by the time I'm there.
So yeah, another smooth segue, smooth transition by your boy Evan over here. Like, listen, you and Trish were all cool, and then you all of a sudden you beat up my first wrestling crush is Trish, and you beat her up after she molded you and she shaped you into her image, and you just go slap around Evan Mack's first celebrity crush. Explain yourself,
Yeah.
Zoey Stark.
I needed to be on my own by now at that point. You know, Trish Stratus, it was time for her to go. It's all about me at this point. And I'm sorry, she slapped me. People don't get to slap Zoey Stark and get away with it.
I don't remember none of that. All I remember is you.
Oh, of course you don't. No, you must have blinked or something. You must have taken a little nap.
Listen,
she slapped me.
Speaking of celebrity, who's your first wrestling crush? That's my first wrestling crush. Who was your first wrestling crush ever?
John Cena was my first wrestling crush.
The
GOAT. Yeah. And when I see him backstage, I still get super nervous to where I'm like, I can't bring myself to go say hi to him because I get so scared, get so insecure about myself.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, you beat up Trish. You beat up Becky. You have quite a few women in the roster. You've also said that you definitely want head to head with you and Bianca. I mean, you're getting Rhea next weekend. Who else is on the Zoey hit list, I guess?
Facts.
Hit list. I like it. Charlotte is definitely one that I would like to have a TV match with. You know, I would love to do more things with Becky Lynch, just one-on-one, because I was wrestling her with Trish, you know? So to be able to just do a one-on-one storyline with Becky would be a lot of fun for me.
We talk about it because I know, listen, when you work hard to get something and you work hard to achieve your goals, and there's certain things to me that can be overlooked as far as not small, but some things that people might not understand how important they are. And like, and you're wearing it right now, you know, how surreal is it to have your own merchandise and, you know, your own shirt, you know, that's just a representation of you and a representation of how far you made it.
It's great. It felt like it took forever to get this shirt because I wanted one in NXT and I never got the opportunity. And then when I was finally just so close to getting one in NXT, the merch guy pulled me aside and it's like, hey, a couple of people are jumping the line to get their shirt first, which is like a punch in the gut. And then come to find out the whole reason why he pushed mine back is because I was getting drafted. So it felt like it was taking a while to finally get the shirt. So having this is absolutely amazing to wear. I get to save this one, probably frame it up on my wall and just know like this was my first ever WWE official merchandise.
Dope.
Nice. So another important question. You're stuck in a car for 72 hours.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Which WWE superstar would you want to be stuck in the car with?
Wow. Ivy Nile.
Oh, wow. That's so dope.
I love Ivy. She's a close friend of mine. I know we already get along, so I think we'll be just fine 72 hours in a car stuck with each other.
Listen, I seen a picture. Can we talk about your kitty, man? Because I got a kitty. We talk about your kitty cat.
My kitty cat? He's
can we
popular today, by the way.
Can we just give a moment to just talk about? I don't even know what we want to talk about. Let's just talk about something. Yeah.
This little guy. He's like, baby.
Liz, how old is this kid?
So he's 5, but he's turning 6 probably about next week. I don't know the exact day, but towards the middle of the month is usually his birthday.
You talk to the people at home that don't understand what cat people, why kitties are just so dope, because you know what I mean. I always got to go back forth with dog people, because I like dogs, but as soon as they see my kitty, they think I don't like dogs. But can you talk to me about how amazing cats are, man? Please just cut a promo for the kitty lovers out there.
All right. Cats are absolutely amazing. I mean, look at him right now. He's wanting to cuddle. He's so loving. People like to sit there and say that cats are so independent, they don't want to be around anyone. False. Yes, they may be independent, which is one of the great parts, because if I have to travel for about 2 days, put some food, put some water out there.
He's good.
He's good to go. But when I am home, he's around me 24/7. He sleeps with me. He just wants to hang out. So he's better than a dog, because I don't need to find a dog sitter to do anything with him.
Oh my goodness. That's the promo right there. The biggest trump card is if you leave a dog at home for 2 days, you have to check it into a mental asylum. 2 days.
And that's expensive. Who has that kind of money to sit there and do that? Hey man, I need to watch my dog for 2 days because I have to go to work. No, instead you get a cat who can feed themselves and take care of themselves.
Yo, so listen, we talked about it a little bit. You got this match coming up though. Tell me why you're going to be the one to derail the nightmare that is Rhea Ripley. How are you going to derail this woman who is on a historic run, who's running amok, slapping people around, riptiding everybody? Why will Zoey Starks at this moment in time win?
Because she's completely distracted. I've already said it on Monday Night Raw, and I'll say it again. She's spread too thin. She has too many things on her plate. She's worried about too many different things. Even at Survivor Series, she'll probably be more focused on War Games instead of me, which is Rhea Ripley's mistake. You don't pay attention to anything else when Zoey Stark standing in the middle of that ring. So let her be distracted or anything else, and I'll capitalize on it.
And before we get you out here, I was kind of thinking about, we were going to ask you, just the word fans kind of like popped up in my mind, and I barely knew where I wanted to go with it, but it just kind of, how important are fans to you as far as what you've done, as far as motivations? Are you self-motivated? Do the fan support? Because at times wrestling fans can be toxic, but then I see the beautiful side of them as well. To me, the side that I focus on, and they're so great to the people that they get behind. So tell me how the fans have kind of got you to the point that you are right now.
Fans are very important because they remind you exactly why you're doing all of this. We're spending a lot of time away from our family, from our home, from our cats, so they're the reason why we get to do this and live out our dreams. So they're incredibly important. There are times when some of them can be a little toxic, which is exactly why I stay off the Twitter. I post and ghost. I don't sit around and look at the comments or anything else, because that's a whole nother conversation. But they are the most important thing to WWE. We can't do what we do without them.
Oh my God, I like that, post and ghost. That is my 2023 mantra. Thank
you. Post and ghost. Yeah. You can't sit around and look at the comments, man. It's awful. Yeah. Like some people are just out there to be mean and try and get to you, and you can't let them do that.
Yeah. I think it was some person I was listening to. They were like, you can't let the great compliments affect you, and you can't let the negative compliments affect you. You just have to live your life. And once you're able to do that, where you're not affected by somebody telling you, oh, you're amazing, or you're crap, like you're Gucci. So there's
exactly.
So last question before we get out of here. While you have your outfit for the airport, how long it takes to get there, all the things. What music are you playing? Like, what is currently on rotation?
Oh, let's go.
So I'm more of a rock fan. So like I love to listen to I Prevail, Five Finger Death Punch, Motionless in White. But while I've been at the airport, I've actually been really listening to Joe Rogan's podcast right now. So listening a lot of that.
I'm kind of I'm finally starting to get into like the podcast space as far as like, listening in my spare time. It takes a lot of bit of time because flying gets on my nerves, even though it's like a 5-hour flight. I'm like, man, it's so long, even though I get across a country in 5 hours. I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
So like, I've been realizing that like podcasts have kind of been killing the time. So I'm starting to rock with the podcast. Yeah, but listen, hold on. What if WWE came up with some like custom made Zoey Stark like Crocs? Then what? Then what would you say?
I would tell them that needs to get off the shelves immediately. Zoey Stark does not represent those. Do not make Zoey Stark wear them because that's not happening.
Listen, WWE's like, listen, we rocking a whole new Croc like everybody. John Cena Croc, Zoey Stark Croc, Rhea Croc, and you gotta do a press tour, and you gotta rock the Crocs one time. I think they get you in Crocs like one time.
How much am I getting paid for it though?
Oh, listen, we got to talk to the powers that be about that. We got to crunch some numbers.
Yeah, if it's everyone has a price, right? So maybe I wear it once for a good payday.
Listen, the $1 Million Man said it best. You're right. Everybody do have a price. I can be bought,
Yeah, exactly. I don't care what anybody says. Everyone can be bought just a little bit.
Yo, let's keep it real, for real.
Yeah.
How you managed to bring it back?
Yo, listen, we appreciate you,
yo. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and good luck. Good luck on Survivor Series.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Zoey, man, I don't know how you managed to start with Crocs and end with Crocs, but you managed to do it. I mean, actually, I know how you do because you're professional.
I was looking for the whole show how to weave, and I almost stepped on the thing when you were talking about the travel, and y'all were talking about shoes. I was like, that's the moment right there. I'm gonna let it go because this is a nice travel moment. That was my moment to weave in the Crocs, but I was like, I gotta put a pin in it. If the Lord see fit to give me another Croc opening, I will take it. And he did with the whole merch. I can get Zoey. Listen, if WWE starts doing Croc merch, she will be rocking Crocs all day long. How much you want to bet?
Wow. I'm considering it, but Zoey I was considering it until after Zoey talked so bad about it.
She shut it down. She shut it down.
Yeah, and it brought me back to her side. So I'm sorry, Evan. I'm not, because I was actually thinking about it.
It's real talk. What she really didn't elaborate on though, she mentioned it, and it's very true. A lot of people don't know this. There was a movie called Idiocracy way back in the day. I think it's the same guy that invented like Beavis and Butthead and stuff like that. Mike Judge, I'm pretty sure he created it. He literally put these things in a movie because the whole movie's about how the world has gone dumb. And they wear Crocs because only the dumbest people in the world would wear Crocs, and that was what blew Crocs up. Think about that for a second. That's what blew Crocs up, man. Sometimes bad publicity is good publicity because now they are off the. And this one guy I met, it's so wild. I was at the writer's strike, the Hollywood strike, and I was down Hollywood. And this guy walked up on me, and it's so weird because I literally I'm like 3 weeks into Crocs, and he was like, "Oh, he's like Crocs, huh?" I was like, "Oh God, man, what's going?" So like I told him the whole story about how my one friend got us into him, and he literally told me that he was at like an IPO thing where the guy he listened to the guy from Crocs. They cost like a penny to make.
Mm-hmm.
They make them charge for like
it's just plastic.
They make them joints for like a penny, man.
And they're selling for like $80, $90. Some are $200.
Easy. Oh God, yeah, man. Get yourself some damn Crocs, man.
And no matter how you dress them up, they're still ugly. And trust me, like I'm thinking about it. Like I said, Zoey brought me to the other side, but it's just kind of like no matter how you dress them up, they're still ugly. They are still ugly.
It's the shape. It's the design. I'm listening. We a Croc family now. TK, what's up?
Look, and it's
hold up. Here we go.
Wow. And they have the little sparkly joints too.
Look at this. Wow. Look at that. Look at it. Light up. Look at it. It's a light up.
That, my friends, is America in a nutshell. Another interesting thing that Zoey said, you mentioned this tweet that she had. So she said, "I'm one of the women who have never quite fit in, and I'm probably never will, but I found it's one of my best qualities." And, she was talking about how some women wrestlers, and you can almost apply this to the entertainment industry, how, you know, it's the glitz and the glams and the boobs and the butt and all this other stuff, and she's not that. So, you know, let's bring it back to women's wrestling. Like, do you think that and we could just put it on WWE, we could put it on other promotions too. Do you think other women's wrestling, we've made a turn almost anti, or is there a place for both? Or, it's Zoey said she can't quite fit in, but I feel like we can pinpoint a couple of women who are kind of in the same boat or box that she's in as well. So what do you think of that statement?
Yeah, she was being nice because she I know why she had to be nice, because she was leaning towards like mentioning that she kind of doesn't really rock with the ladies that use their sexuality. You guys heard the interview, so tell me if I'm wrong. She kind of was leaning into like, yeah, you do you, boo boo, but like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So I feel there's a sentiment amongst the new crop of ladies that you set us back. That's kind of like me when I see certain people, that certain brothers and sisters that like act real crazy, like stereotypical crazy in public, or do something stereotypically crazy. As when we were growing up and my parents were talking to me, they were like, you don't want to be that kind of brother. Like, so like I get that sentiment. I get the sentiment about being black, but at what cost though? You know what I mean? So I get her sentiment saying like, yeah, we work very hard to establish themselves as professionals, as wrestlers, as strong women, without using our bodies to be the reason why we got where we are. So I get it from that perspective. But we kind of touched on it a little bit after the show, like after the interview, where we're like, is there a space for both without feeling like you're setting your own, like your females back? Is that possible? Do you believe you could live in a world like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people, I mean, if you look at, and barring this kind of going out to like psychology and stuff like that, barring kids haven't been, the outliers with abuse and all those things. If you look back to your personality as a child, right? Typically, like, I'm the same person I was when I was 7, 8, meaning like characteristics. Obviously, we mature and stuff like that, but very particular, very atypical, very like, I like things a certain way. Like, I've been that person my whole entire life, right? And I've also been that tomboy, but sometimes here and there, I'll like lend into, I've been in beauty pageants, I've done that stuff, but I'm the type of person that, just hand me some sweats. And if I can figure out how to still connect with people, for people not to judge me and all the things, and be comfy and cozy in my house, and get paid and do all the things, then sign me up. I'm naturally an introvert. I don't really, all the things. But then I have friends who, they are very out there, you know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily sexuality, it's more their personality. And, we've come into an era where, the pendulum is swinging definitely the other way. It's like women's wrestling was about TNA for a long time, and now it's swinging the other way. But society, as far as women are concerned, is swinging the other way. So it's kind of like two things that are happening at the same time. But you have some wrestlers who, they are sexy, but they're not leading with that. And I don't want to name the names and all this other stuff, but there are some wrestlers who's like, yo, she's hot, but she's not leading with that. She just happens to be hot. Then you have some wrestlers who are leading more with it. But in this day and age, it's kind of like, if you look, for instance, at WoW, there's a little bit of everything for anybody. Like, if you don't want the super sexy, if you don't gravitate towards that and you feel uncomfortable, there's other wrestlers. And that's for other promotions too. I think with the promotions now, we're getting into the variety of, in particular for women's wrestlers, the variety of where you can have somebody, you almost have, and we're missing a few, but you almost have enough women wrestlers where you can see yourself in them, whether they're a tomboy, whether they're a little bit more on the sexy side, etc. So, and Zoey did point to, there are people in the locker room, because that was my follow-up question about, do you feel alone? Because that's a different thing. If she felt like, nah, I feel like it's just me, then that's a whole nother conversation. But the fact that she brought up different names, and she didn't even need to bring up those names. I think we could have all, put it all together. That's a good thing. But I think there's room for both. I feel like giving the women the opportunity to express themselves and not necessarily having the promotion say, hey, we need to see more tits. I think that's the difference, given the option for both. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I agree with, because I do believe in to me the whole movement back in the day when, you know, if you talk to any real woman, like, that's not, because not every woman that's sure about themselves is a feminist. Everybody uses that word when anytime a woman is sure about themselves, now they're a feminist, now they're a threat. That's not what it is. Most women that I talk to about this, looking sexy by them choosing to is them taking the power. You see what I'm saying? Just like what you're saying. Like, I've chosen to look like this. No man has made me look like this because of an ultimatum. Like, if you don't dress like this and you don't do this, you won't be on TV. I'm choosing to dress sexy or be a sex symbol as a choice. And that's my power. So I do believe there's space for both. You know what I mean? Like, if you are, because with all due respect, some of the most beautiful women in the industry, they work in the ring. They work in the ring. They work hard in the ring. It's not their fault. They're beautiful as well. So they're pretty, and they can out wrestle you. You know what I mean? So that's the era I think we're in. I think we're in this era of women that know who they are, know what they want to do, know what they represent, and are willing to live by their own terms. And you got the people that set the trends with the AJs and Soraya when she was Paige, and Lita at a different time, and these certain women, like, showing you that there's different molds to fit in besides the exact mold. You know what I mean? Because even Rhea went blonde when she first got to the PC. Like, Rhea, she's an Aussie, so she was blonde and she was doing the whole thing, and then she found herself, but then she started realizing, I like this kind of music and this is my kind of style. And she made people. No one talks about that woman's sex appeal more than everybody talks about her sex appeal. She don't even do nothing. Right? Everybody talks about her sex appeal. Everybody, man, woman, child. Like, she's amazing. Like, damn. So I think there's space for both. But that's not diminishing what Zoey said. I actually understand what she's saying. When you're on the come up and you're trying to make it somewhere, and you keep hearing the same shit over and over again, that will affect you. Make no mistake. Right. She didn't have to get into it. We know what she's talking about. She, like, why don't you look like this? Why don't you dress like this? Why don't you do that? This girl over here wrestling does this. And so you're growing up with a chip on your shoulder, knowing the only thing you want to do is wrestle. That's the only thing you want to do. And you're thinking, because if I don't dress like this, I can't wrestle. And you're like, damn, hold on now. I got it. So that builds resentment, and that builds a certain thing in certain people, and makes you go against the grain. And for her to be in the position she's in for doing it her way, that speaks volumes as well. So it's not like, I think two things can be true.
Yeah. No, yeah, she created her own lane, and WWE obviously bought into it, and look where she's at. So there's that. I mean, we can even look at in the interview, you asked about your wrestling crush that Zoey turned her back on. Trish Stratus, I mean, you look at her career when she started, and then even after she left, the fact that she opened a yoga studio, the fact that she was a boss woman, the fact that she came back, because let's also put a little bit of respect on her own name. Trish looked amazing, and she could still go. I mean, obviously she can't go like she was 21 years old, but the fact that she can still go is testament. And now she has a second chance in a different era to add to her legacy, which is a good thing as well.
Yeah, a lot of these women back in the day, that was the cards they were dealt. They had to do certain things, and I told you, like, the Raw, like, listen, Attitude Era was like Sodom and Gomorrah. You could do anything back in the day. They were it was no holds barred back in the day. Women have fought a long time to get taken seriously as individuals and as equals. It's not about being better. Women just wanted to be seen as equals, and they had to endure a lot of things. So to see Trish be able to come back and have a match with Becky Lynch, one of the best matches of her career, might be Trish's best match of her career, which is wild to me, and have that match and have it look the way it did, and have her look the way she does, still beautiful, still looking like Trish Stratus, but not being objectified is a testament to, I think two things can be true because I don't think it's a bad thing in the world if you feel like if you like looking good, you like putting makeup on, you like looking sexy in that ring. I don't think it's a bad thing if you have chosen to do so.
Mm-hmm. There it is. So the second episode of the Takedown is gonna look a little different when we come back. But this is our premiere episode. We got a lot of stuff in plan for you, a lot of surprises, all the things. So the Takedown new episode with Evan T. Mack and TK Trinidad. Evan, where can they find you if they want to argue with you?
Yeah, y'all can always argue me at Evan T. Mack on all socials. We could chop it up. Beginning episode, guys, the pilot episode, the test episode, where we're bringing you Zoey Stark, we're bringing you potential future champ. Hell, I gotta speak into existence. What you want me to say? She gonna lose? Damn. Who knows what they do? Who knows what these bookers are thinking? We don't know. Yeah, we coming back with some more heat, guys. We hit you with some different interviews, different topics. We're gonna be with the chat, so you guys can chop it up with us and give us your thoughts. So we're excited about that. So listen, we here, man.
Yeah, I'm taking a page from Zoey. I definitely do a post and ghost, so I may get back to you in a couple days, may not. I don't know. I'm trying not to be on social media like that, but you can follow me on it. My DMs are open. It's just whenever I get to it. So you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. But thank you guys so much. Shout out to Fight TV for bringing us on. More stuff to come, y'all. More interviews to come, more topics to come. Like I said, wrestling and non-wrestling stuff. Let us know in the chat who, we actually didn't get to our reality show question. Now that I realize that. Let's circle it back before we close it out. Who do you want on your reality show? Total Divas. Who would you want on your reality show?
Yeah. I got let's see. Rhea's too busy, but I want Rhea on there. Too busy because y'all got to think about the drama. She got Buddy with her, like you know what I mean. Like that's just cool. Like, but that's wishful thinking though. Let me try to do something to actually get happy. Listen, I know she's popular with amongst people, so I'm a man of the people. Just for ratings wise, Nakia Lyons would be good. So what she does a day in the life of her, that'd be good. Who else we got there? I would love to see Bliss, man, because the baby and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone loves Liv Morgan. I love to see Liv. Liv will be good. That'd be all that. Liv, give me Liv, Nakia. Give me some of the up and coming wrestlers though. Give me Xia Li. That's wild.
Oh yeah, you going all over the place.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to follow some of those ladies. Yeah.
I'm thinking Chelsea.
Definitely,
because Natalya is the only one from Total Divas still around, so we definitely have to bring back Natalya.
Yeah, she got to be a mainstay. Yeah. TJ, man, her and TJ.
Chelsea, Natalya. Let's see who else. I mean, Jade.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Jade, she's in Florida. Gosh, who else would we have? What
about Shotzi? What about Scarlett?
Naya's back too, and Nia was a diva too. So Nia, I think that's a good start. We have some run-ins from Rhea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good start. I feel like, also let us know in the chat who would be on your Total Divas roll call, because cast the new Total Divas and give us like 5 who you put on the show. Who we put on the show. There it is. Now we can officially wrap the show. The Takedown with Evan T. Mack and TK Trinidad. Keep it locked for our next episode happening when it happens. Check out Fight TV for the details. Other than that, till next time, guys. Ciao.